Alright, in this last video, I just wanted to show you how to finish up the project. You've done your recording, you've done your editing, you've added some cool effects, maybe some background music. Everything is done and we're ready to finalize the project. Currently, all you have is a Garageband project file, which you can't really share. You can't play it in iTunes or send it to someone's iPod or post it on the web. To do any of those things, first you have to export a audio file out of GarageBand. And there's a couple ways you can do that. You want to go up here to share at the top and you get some choices. If you just want to immediately send it to your iTunes library, you can choose this first one. Or if you want to use a online service to save it, you can use SoundCloud. It's kind of, think of it like YouTube but for audio files. You can post your own content, you can listen to other people's music. They have some pretty slick looking media players that you can then embed in your website. If you're interested in that kind of thing, I can, please ask. I'll help you do that. But the most common, the one I suggest most people do is just go straight to this bottom one. You want to export your song straight to a disk. So that spits out a nice little file that you can then do whatever you want with. You can send it to your students. They can send it to you over AirDrop, which is built in right here. So you can go that way too. But then both computers have to be on the whole time. Whereas if you choose this one, you create the file, then you're just, you can transfer it quickly. You can post it to your website, you can do lots of things. This is the one I find I use the most often. So just go to Export Song to Disk, and you can name it. I'm going to name it Test Podcast, and you can tag it if you want, say where you want to name it. I'm going to go with, I want more choices here. I want to put it on my desktop, so I'm going to go here to desktop, and you get some different choices here. AAC is what iTunes really likes. The file sizes are a little bit larger, but the quality is a little better. MP3s I usually prefer just because the size is usually more manageable, and I can't really tell a difference in the quality. So I like MP3. You do what you like. And there are some choices here. If you're really trying to make it small, like you need to email it, you might want to choose low quality. Of course, it won't sound quite as good, but sometimes it's hard to tell the difference, and it can save you a lot in file size. So experiment a few times. Once you get all the choices you like, you click Export, and it takes a little bit of processing here. You kind of have to wait. The longer your project is, the longer this will take. So you just let it do its thing. Okay, and now I see nothing looks different here. You have to minimize your GarageBand window. And back here on my desktop, or wherever you selected, I now have a little file called Test Podcast MP3. And I can double click that, and it will start to play. And whatever my default player is, it looks like it's going to iTunes. In the next video. So now it's playing my podcast, the MP3 file that I just created. So now I could, upload this to my website. I could email it to my friend. I don't know, whatever you want to do with it. So that's the last step to creating a podcast, is that you have to share it out of GarageBand. You can't leave it in this format that doesn't do anybody any good. You have to share it. And then usually you want to go with Export Song to Disk.